Hello, welcome to Toffee TV after your Everton free weekend. It is Monday the 13th of October. Me and Ped here on the Daily Live. Not enough of you, by the way, have watched James's Room 101. Go and watch it. Stop being little moany people.
Anti-James.
Go and watch it. James is great. Don't support him. Just lazy. You just need to start like clicking on these videos and watching them.
Twice as many people have watched me run round a bit.
Lazy. That's lazy. Then there you go.
Then watch James.
Put it on for 30 seconds. Like
not right now. At the end.
Not now. That'd be silly.
Yeah.
But yeah, go and watch it. Because why wouldn't you? It's funny. I just want to say before we start, hello to Johnny Hodgson as well. Met your mum and dad yesterday. They were lovely. Big Evertonian. So hello, Johnny. Pedro, it looks like Jordan Pickford is going to sign his new deal this week at Everton. A few Alamiza's comments this morning as well, saying it'll be a long-term deal. That'll probably mean he sees his career out at Everton. I'm not sure. He's only 31. I can't see Everton giving him like judging by Everton age of some of the goalies we've had, not sure that'll be the end of him. This is, I mean, it's unsurprising because he's been very vocal about wanting to stay and carry on and all that. But it's good news, isn't it? We talked about it last week, just getting calm and everything down. But it is good news. He's been, listen, at times you look and go, could he have done a little bit better than that? But in general, he's been brilliant and is a big, big reason why Everton are still a Premier and have been a Premier League club in the last few years, isn't he?
Yeah, it's good news. Like we said last week, try and get as many of these done as quickly as possible. Just get them out the way. It shows that business is getting done at the football club. It's getting run in a good function, and people know what they're doing. You know, I think this time of year, obviously after the transfer window, it goes a little bit quiet. I mean, it hasn't always been a little bit quiet for us in the last few years.
No. So it's nice to be a little bit quiet in some respects.
It is nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
very calm.
It is nice to have that like calmness and actually be doing the right thing. And
when you think back to like, you know, we'll do Woe Is Us now, coming in and covering it every day. You know, when I think back, I actually start feeling that like getting a bit of anxiety, even though it's gone and done. Yeah. You know, thinking back, because when we were in it, I think a few people are like this. When we were in it,
in the trenches,
we were just in it, doing it and covering it and being that. When I think back, it's almost like, oh my God, how did we, like as a fan base, how did we cope?
I was going to say, once again, we're the real heroes of this story.
It feels like
once again.
It feels like it. It was what inspired James to want to become part of it. The fourth emergency service. So fair play, James.
Listen, we all remember when COVID was on. We were the fourth emergency service. Maybe the first, second, and third. For some people. For some people, not everyone. No. Especially people who've got a fire in their kitchen. We'd be useless.
Or doctors, you know. Yeah. People had to go to the hospital.
I'll have a look at it for you, but I can't do much with it.
We'll have a look. Of course, we'll have a look.
So, you know, we were the real heroes, but you know that it shows a level of getting on with the business that needed to be done.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, what I noticed last week was, I think this was quite good. And it doesn't really matter what side of the fence you sort of fall on. I know what most people fall on watching this, but like the anti sort of Pickford stuff had been going along, hadn't it? And then I seen someone try and be dead clever again. We need to talk about Pickford, blah blah blah. And then a few articles came out from well-known journalists going, "Shut up! It's actually time to put this to bed now. Shut up!"
Yeah.
Because in fact, it's not even like, if you come from an England point of view, it's really disrespectful to the national team and Thomas Tuchel and what they're trying to do of like keep on bringing stories up of there's something wrong, instead of just being like what Gareth Southgate tried to create in England was this thing of like, we're having harmony, because if we don't have harmony, how on earth are we going to ever win anything if yous are all looking for ways to bring us down? And I think the Jordan Pickford story was very much like that. So it was good to have a few people last week say, no, he is the number one. Can we move on and talk about something else? You know what I mean? There's lots of stories for England that could be talked about. Positive, negative, whatever. Jordan Pickford doesn't have to be one of those things. I did hear a little bit of the commentary for the match the other night, by the way. Lee Dixon, you absolutely need to just sort your head out.
Yeah, Pickford
made like 2 saves One of them was really top, good save, and he was just like, did what he had to do, sort of thing. It's like, you need to get over yourself, mate. You need to absolutely get over. Your mate's fine. He married an ice skater.
Yeah.
This doesn't ruin his legacy.
No.
He's fine, mate.
Never kept 8 clean sheets on the run for England, but he's fine.
No, he's fine.
Happy with
but he's got ice.
He's spinning around, living the dream.
He's spinning around. Maybe not on ice.
Although he has.
He has, and that, famously. So it's, so it's good. Get it sorted. Getting it's. I don't think any of us were too worried, but it's good that it's sorted. You have got again we need to get. There's been this why would Jordan Pickford stay at Everton? Why what's wrong with him that he doesn't want to do this and doesn't want to do that and doesn't want to go somewhere? Jordan Pickford has found happiness. You've seen that with Jack.
It's the greatest thing that we possess.
You've seen that with Jack Grealish at the moment. Now, Jack Grealish has already got like the trophies. That's the difference. He can open the cupboard and go, I've won all them. But he's found a bit of happiness, and there is a little bit. We've said this loads of times about footballers. Is like people leave Everton, and not many of them do well. Not many of them actually do what they're supposed to do. Or maybe Wayne, John Stones, Rom's won trophies, but has he ever been as good as he was at Everton? I don't think so. No. There's not many that leave Everton for pastures new and it all works out for them the way they want to. And let's cultivate that. Let's make Jordan Pickford, when he signs this, let's make him number one. I mean, he is a big part of Everton Football Club, but let's make him an even bigger part, because he's going to spend nearly all his career with us. He's going to be here for the majority of his, I would expect his Premier League career and his international career. I think that's huge, and I think Everton, the whole of us should, make sure we give him as much credit as possible, and if people that don't already, make him feel very, very at home. I mean, he's been here long enough, but you know what I mean. It's like maybe. If there's ever been an issue, then let's cut that, because it's massive. It's massive. It's a massive statement. Massive statement.
No, it is. Listen, again, there's been moments when I've thought he should have done better. Think back to, I only have to sort of go back to May with George Hurst's header, when I thought he should have done much better, but the odd goal. Yeah. And every goal he made, and I'd be saying probably the same about, the best in the world. Over there, it could be anyone, couldn't it? Probably best sea lady in the world and all that. But Alisson makes goals you look and go, I should have done much better than that. So I don't think there's ever a goalie where every goal he concedes, you go, nothing he could do. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't happen, really. Yeah. For us to have been through what we've been through and have the quality of goalkeeper remain with us, because he's like you just said, has got the happiness, and that is key in football. You can have the trophies, and of course we all want to win things, there's no question about it, but only a few teams win stuff, and therefore those players have to go to work every single day, perform, enjoy what they're doing. And Jordan Pickford's always done that at Everton. He's never, as far as I'm aware, and I haven't heard anything to the contrary, he's never expressed any kind of desire to leave the football club. He's had United look at him a few times, and he's just got on with it, hasn't said a word. Chelsea looked at him a couple of years ago, didn't make any fuss, wanted to stay at Everton. He's England's number one and has been forever. Since he come to Everton, basically, he's been England's number one, isn't he? He's made one error that led to a goal that he's conceded in 79 caps, and that was last year against Belgium, and it was a kick. It wasn't like he dropped the cross or whatever, he just hit a ball, whatever. They all do it. So, I think he's been magnificent. He's a great character. Okay, sometimes a bit odd. He's fucking chunnering away, but he's key to us. He's ingrained in Everton Football Club, and you can't have enough of those lads. He seems like a dead good lad away from the pitch. We seen him we spoke to him in the US, didn't we? Off camera, and he was pissed off when he lost that friendly to Bournemouth. He was not happy, was he? And that's a friendly game. things like that. So if he's got that character going through him, just in pre-season friendlies when it was right at the start, he's been a tremendous sign. What, £30 million 8 years ago? He's been great value for Everton every year, and it's like you've just said, it's really important that get this done this week, get behind him. He's only 31. You'd argue he's still got some peak years left as a keeper anyway. Got all the experience in the world, and hopefully with Everton in a much sounder footing now and improving the team and the squad all the time, he's going to get better. This is a lad who's 3rd or 4th most clean sheets last year. The last 2 or 3 years he's been absolutely magnificent in a defence. That's been the strong point for Everton, let's be honest, because it certainly hasn't been scoring goals, has it? And he's been key to everything we've done well, if you want to put it that way. And get it done, and let's get behind them, and hopefully this will be his best season for Everton, and Everton's best season.
Yeah, and it is really interesting as well, just like somewhat there, it is really interesting what people define as like happiness and stuff like that, isn't it? Because we've got, I was just saying then, I was watching Seamus on Saturday, and he was absolutely magnificent for Ireland on Saturday. Jacob Brien got man of the match, but it was more like what Jacob Brien was doing on Saturday was like last-ditch
defending, yeah.
Seamus just like a cut above him, just like the intelligence in terms of like when to calm it down, when to do certain things, you know. But it is a guy who has played his entire football career in England, you know, at being at Everton, of course, went Blackpool on loan, but being at Everton and now is still serving in those final days. 37 over the weekend. Happy birthday, Seamus. Plays for Ireland on the day when he goes off, it's 0-0. 3 minutes later, they concede. There's a guy that I don't think anyone could see. What does he need to have? Like, what trophies could you give him to make him happier? You know, do you know what I mean? It's like
trophy.
No, but no. What I'm saying is though, this is a guy who absolutely loves playing for Everton and playing for
the Thierry would be a trophy.
No, of course
Everton,
it would be. But would it make him like? Would it make him? Point being is like for these guys, it would be amazing for them to win something. But at the same time, they're not. They don't strike me like they're people who like that would fulfill them. Like, do you know what I mean? They don't need. They are happy people. They have had great careers. Seamus Coleman, you know, she could say the same about Leighton Baines. Did they, you know, do they need that trophy to fulfill them? Do they need to go somewhere else? I know ambitions is a fantastic thing, by the way, and everyone should have it and everyone should crave that. But how important is that? You know what I mean? That happiness thing is so important, isn't that what I'm saying? Key. It's so important. If you've got players, by the way, who are the flip, and I'll be like, I absolutely need to go and test myself, then that's all right as well. And if they leave the club because they do need to test themselves, that's okay as well, because we'll sign plenty of players and have signed plenty of players for that reason as well. They'll have been happy where they are, and but they've still got that little bit of fulfillment that they need, then that's fine. But some players don't ever go, oh, you know, there's you know, they never won anything, or why is he staying at Everton? And there's then becomes a narrative of like, why is he staying at Everton? Or doesn't he not think he's good enough, or no one else would touch him? It's like some people just find that happiness and go, what more do I need? What more do I need in my life that I am going to, okay, yeah, I could win a couple of trophies and I could have a boss couple of days or whatever, but actually, it's like, you know, if a red Everton, I've had it before about, you know, about being an Evertonian. You're like, I wouldn't swap being a red to be a red for anything. You know what I mean? I'm an Evertonian. I wouldn't swap. You've won the lot, but I wouldn't swap who I am for that. So it's
no, if you're a footballer, you go and train every single day with a group of lads. Some will be your mates, some won't. It's nature, isn't it? Human nature. We don't all like the people we work with. In a big thing, when you're putting someone in a dressing room,
you generally leave.
No, but say if you go into a dressing room and it's part of the squad and there's the medical stuff, there's like, you're probably talking 35, 40 people involved in that.
Of course.
There's going to be people in there you don't like.
Yeah.
Right, isn't there? But if you go somewhere and you're finding that every day, that you're going to do what is a hugely difficult thing. We can all trivialise it. We all go, they wouldn't know a proper day's work if they had to do it. Not well, they wouldn't. And any of those footballers who turn on and go, yeah, Happy had no problem. They wouldn't. They're mollycoddled up to a point, but they're also at the top in an elite sport where less than 1% of people playing it get to do it.
Yeah.
An even smaller number get to be where they are. So it's a cutthroat business.
Yeah.
And so if you find somewhere where you're happy playing football, like you just said before, look at Jack Grealish. He's won the lot. He's done it all. But he just wants to play footy. He said the last game, we all want to be loved, and I'm feeling the love here and I love it. And I'm happy playing. Now, he could have still been at City, being part of their squad, coming on now and again. They win most weeks, doing the thing. But, Ross Barkley, whatever you think of him, and each to their own. I quite like Ross, I think. Knowing what went on doesn't surprise me that why he left. But he went to Chelsea, which was a weird move. Won a few trophies, but never really wasn't part of it, was he? Played games, but he wasn't key. He got an FA Cup winners medal, but he didn't do anything in it. He got a cup winners cup, wasn't it? Or whatever it was, Europa League winners medal or something, but didn't do anything in it. He was just part of it. If he sat here now, were you ever happier at Chelsea, Villa or Nice than you were when you were at Everton playing in that team? And, okay, not winning trophies, but scoring goals and creating goals. I bet you'd turn around and go, probably not. Lukaku, the same. You went to Manchester United, the biggest club in the world, with Real Madrid. Were you really happy? Because you didn't play like you were happy, and you certainly were never as good as you were playing for Everton. And then you went to Chelsea, which was your dream, and you were back out the team after 2-3 months, and I'm going to want to go back to Italy. And then he's been in and out of Italy. These players, I'm not saying you just stay there, because like you said, you've got to have the ambition, but for some people, being at the top of their sort of thing, for a Jordan Pickford, I'm the number one in my country playing. I'm the goalie. I love Everton Football Club. I'm the number one in the club. Everyone knows me. I'm a big character, and I'm number one for my country. That's enough for them. And especially if the club evidences it's moving forward, which we've talked about, which is part of this reason. Yeah. Why do those players need to move? Do you know what I mean?
Especially, age is a big factor in this as well.
Of course,
if he was 26, that's slightly different.
Of course, yeah.
But being the age he is, why would you upset? Why would you upset what you've got for something new where you've got to change everything? Where you live, and if your wife's happy and the kids are in a good school and all that kind of thing, you've got good people around you. Why would you upset that? When you sort of can see the end, coming closer than the begin. It's coming closer than the beginning was. So, don't get me wrong. If you're like 26, and like I've always said, like if people, this thing of like when people went on international duty and they talk about playing in the Champions League, like I never had a problem with that, because that just shows ambition. It's up to football clubs to match players' ambitions. If they want to play in Champions League, then I'd rather have players who want to play in the Champions League than players who are just happy to just toddle about. So it is about showing ambition at times. But
I always felt Ron was disrespectful to us.
Well, every
fantastic
Belgian player is disrespectful to everyone. Something that we paid them back by giving them Martinez. Who is ironically looking more and more like Gru every day. So maybe James is becoming maybe James is the young Roberto Martinez.
Okay.
So fair play to you. Makes you spunny.
I like it.
But you're gonna have to shave all your hair off to complete the look. Halloween is coming. No, it's really good news, and let's just hope it's followed up quite quickly by the other players. Yeah. Again, you've got people settled, and you've got everyone. And the other side of this is everyone's got a contract. Then everyone's got a contract for what they're worth and for how long they're worth, and we won't have too much noise in our dressing room. Then it'll all be hopefully positive stuff.
Well, people like James Garner, it's key in his career now, isn't he? He's at a good age. And therefore, I think, and he's done brilliantly so far this season. hasn't he? So good for him. Good to get him tied down. We talked about Mykolenko the other day. Whether Everton do need another left back and another attacking, they need an attacking left back. Now, can Asnu do that? Hopefully. But Mykolenko, it's key to get him tied down because you don't want to be going into next summer sort of doing the same thing. We've got him out of contract and him out of contract. What's going to happen? Are we going to get him? Is he going to stay? Is he going to get it sorted so that all of those are out the way? And the management team, however that looks, the recruitment team, can just talk and be focused on bringing in people into the football club, not letting people go out the door for nothing, because that's key, isn't it? There was just too much to do this summer, wasn't it?
Well, we spoke about it last week, didn't we? It was just ridiculous. It was a ridiculous summer. That's what Everton had. It's just like, Everton got to this point where it was like out with the old and in with the new, quite literally. There was like, and this is making sure that doesn't happen again. And no functional football club should work like this. And everyone's contract should be sorted at least the season before, so you're not taking anyone into the final season. Because like we said last week, we saw what happened on one hand, they saw what happened on the other hand. Throwing 400 bags at players who are on the slide. Let's get it right. Still fantastic players on the day, but when you are put in that position, that was only ever going to favour one side, and it wasn't the club. Because as much power as they think they've got, they ain't got that kind of power.
No.
Ain't got that to be throwing, giving 3-year contracts out for crazy. So you've got to get it done, and that means tough choices. That means players. But what that does, that creates a place, doesn't it? You mentioned it with Dominic Calvert-Lewin last week. About last year, it creates that place of if you think you're dragging your feet, you've got another thing coming. This contract gets sorted out now, or it doesn't get sorted, and we sell you in the summer. And if you don't go, you sit on the bench, and there's no ifs, buts, and maybe. So that's the carrot for Beto for the rest of the season, mate. Unless you massively improve, mate, you are out in the summer because we aren't giving you a new contract, and you aren't running it down either. So we will take what we can get for you. We'll get your PSR value back, and you will be gone, mate. And if you want to be at Everton, you've got to prove that on the pitch right now, and we'll bring somebody else in. And that's got to be the way of doing things, hasn't it, from now on? And that's got to be all. Every player we have right now in our squad right now should be dying to sign a new contract. Absolutely dying to sign a new contract. This is the place to be. This is where you want to be playing week in and week out. Everything's here in your favour, and the only way's down. So that's all on you, and that competitiveness that you build within the squad is hugely important. And like you've seen people react. James Garner's reacting to it. Hopefully he'll sign a new contract. The people are talking him up with England and stuff like that. That's good. That's really good for him, but it's really good for Everton because he's one of those players that you were looking at going, nah, he's not improving, and he has improved, and that's so that everyone going up and pushing each other, and the squad getting pushed out, and younger players being brought in. And I know we haven't got patience, but as long as the manager's got patience and knows what he's doing, they're going to push that squad even more. And we see again last week with Njai talking about like, I want to be here, I want to win trophies. I seen someone in the comments that they say something like, "Oh, I'll be really sad to see him go." Where do you think he's going? It's in here, and he wants to fight for his place. He's got his big rubber ball behind him, and he's loving it.
He's happy as laddie.
That's it.
Whoever laddie is.
He seems happy.
So, no, you're right. But get them all done and out the way, and then you can just focus purely then on recruitment, can't you? And whether that includes getting people out the door, but if you're getting people out the door, you're getting them out on contracts, aren't you? So you're getting something back. We spoke last week about the amount of money that has gone out the door. Players we bought and didn't get anything back for them. They just ran the contract down. Yeah. That can't.
But you know what? What's mad is, though, some of those players, though, it wasn't even their fault. It wasn't even their fault. It was just the way the club was run. It was run so badly that, like, some of those players were like still wanting to do it week in and week out, and there was reasons. There was other like we talk about, like Shen Tosin, 2 knee injuries. You know, who could have predicted that? You know what I mean?
Mad.
All these little things.
Gary Waters, howdy. Not so purple-acky. Says, Ped, as an ex-professional driver, can you answer a question?
Ex-professional driver.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like it. Yeah. You're coming off a roundabout, indicating left, but have a left turn immediately as you exit the roundabout. Yeah. Do you continue indicating left, even though that doesn't really inform cars behind you that you'll be slowing to take the immediate left, or sort of flick your indicator on and off a bit? How would you
on a roundabout, I'll be honest, it depends what kind of size the round. Like, you're looking 5 ways. There's a bit of a time. You've got a bit of time, haven't you?
But he's saying coming off and then
no, I think if you're going on a round, if you're going an immediate left, then just it's a roundabout. Just stick it on that you're going left. There's no real, like, roundabouts are far too, like, violent. Aren't they? It's like a
I'd say over.
How are you on roundabouts, James?
I don't enjoy them, but I'm alright with them.
You're okay with the 5 ways, because that's quite an aggressive roundabout.
I do it twice every day, so
Are you still not? Are you not going through the cut through that at all?
I do.
No, he doesn't.
Only when that school lets out.
Okay.
Like on a Friday, I go that way.
The cut through.
Hang on. What you're saying is when the school is coming out, you go another way.
Yeah.
But just wanted to clarify that.
It's still quicker going that way than the way you're going.
Yeah.
You know that, don't you?
Just leave him.
But you do what you. No, it is.
You won't even use a motorway. You won't even use a motorway.
Because one, the way you're going there, you're going over here to end up back here.
But it's on big roads.
But it's on big roads, so it's fine. But if you're scooting through like that, it is still quicker.
He's on big roads.
But that's fine, James.
He's got his big roads pants on. No, I just tend to when I'm on a roundabout, I wait till the junction and then hit it. Sometimes I just don't indicate. Look,
there you go, roundabout. Chat.
TV. Chat TV.
Josh Oldfield says, any excuse to continue singing Jordan's song for years to come. There you go. James Wallen says, congratulations, Ped, on the new personal best. Nice to bump into my old postman. Ran 52 myself, gutted, had knee trouble for about 4 weeks and hadn't ran for 2 weeks. But hopefully not long now till I break the 50.
Do you know what? I wasn't even trying. Genuinely, like, it was too early in the morning. I wasn't like, no, but what I mean by that is, if I had tried, I could have got under 50, and I wouldn't even afford to get under 50. My PB before that was like 52.50, so, or 53.07. I don't remember these things. I wasn't even like trying. Then afterwards, I've got like regret now, going, oh, if I'd gone a little bit faster. No, I ever got runner's regret. If I'd gone a little bit faster. Like, and by the way, I was filming the bloody thing as well. So every picture of me, I'm like fiddling with my phone. I'm like, if I'd concentrated, I could have got it. But then I wouldn't have made a video for all you to watch. So, and that's the most important thing is, like, if I hadn't documented it, how would you really know?
There you go.
It's basically entertainment for you guys.
That was the only reason he done it.
And Everton. Someone should be paying me.
Mark Mack says Pickford is what I was hoping Richard Wright would be, and it's so refreshing to see loyalty in the game. Yeah. David Goomsey says, morning gents, Pickers is worth every penny. Blue Keeley says, on a serious note, this group helped keep me from giving up during the last few seasons. But that's good. That's good, isn't it? Good that you're part of it as well, mate. Blue Keeley said, I had someone the other day saying Onana was a better keeper than Pickford. Amadou? Yeah. That's an odd one.
Tall.
It's an odd one. Because it can't be that other one. He isn't even a better keeper than Amadou Onana.
Remember that time United fans were telling us Luke Shaw was better than Baines because they couldn't sign Baines. And it was just like, even back then, we were just like, mate, the only thing he's better at is hanging outside at Greg's.
It's the same now with Lenny Yoro. No, Yoro's better than Branthwaite. Yeah, right. As Carol would say. Glenn Watson says, Peter McPartland fine training question. He normally finishes it with your name at that. 50 minutes for 10K is decent. Do you do high interval training to get that pace up? It's significantly faster than what I've seen on Strava.
I do Runner, mate. I have an app called Runner, which is really, really good. They should be paying me as well. It's like a person.
First time I've ever heard you say it, so why should they be paying?
Well, if they paid me, I'd be talking about it all the time. Yeah, I have an app called Runner. You have to pay for it, but honestly, it's well worth it. So it is. It's like interval training. So it's see, when you run a long run, you're supposed to run really slow. That's it's building, and then I do like loads of short, intense stuff. Yeah, some of it's good. There's another one, and it's horrible. Where you have to run up hills, but what you have to do is run uphill and then run back, just jog back down, and it's horrible. So yeah, and you can do anything with that. By the way, 5k, 10k, half marathons, ultras, marathons, everything. It's a brilliant app, and it doesn't half kick you on. It really does. It doesn't half like put. You don't even realise that you're training, but you don't realise how much it's working till a day like a proper race where you've got other people around you and suddenly you feel like that.
Very good.
Fella won it, done it in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
For a 10k. Absolutely.
Adam says, I've had an argument with a cop-out mate today. He reckons this new deal is proof Pickford's not a top keeper, as he wouldn't be able to get a move to a better club. What he can't seem to grasp is the idea that Pickford's actually happy and his family are content, something which people seem never to consider. I suppose Liverpool players are always desperate to leave, so you can understand why my mate can't get his head around it.
I don't think it really matters, does it? I don't think it really matters. I mean, I think that's more on you for having Liverpool mates.
Just laugh at him. That's the way I'd do it. Mark Max says the Irish media are showing a lot of love for Coleman. As long as he can walk, he should be in the team. He calms everything down.
He did. He really did.
Still,
it was weird that he wasn't captain. Nathan Collins.
Jesus Christ.
Beef yourself.
He still has a big part to play for Everton on the pitch. I don't think he does, but fair play. I love him, but I just don't see him playing for us. Gary Wall says they might not want to make the kids change schools and things like that. Of course, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Your family life is the most important thing there. That's got to be your stability. David Savage says most players don't win anything, like you say, but to be fair, if they can find their happy place and get paid a lot of money to do so, you can't argue with that.
And one thing, on the other side of this as well is Pickford has been in the England squad for what now? 8 years,
8 years,
right? In 8 years, he has worked with all of the best players, all the best English players. So he is week in or month in, month out, and then he's been at tournaments with these people who have won things. So he can see. It's not like he's not seeing what it's like, what it does to people, or it's not like he's in it's not like he's stuck in there at a club that hasn't won anything, so he doesn't understand. He's with all their top professionals, and he's seen like Jude Bellingham go to Real Madrid and win the Champions League in his first season. Harry Kane, who stayed at the club for years and showed that loyalty and then moved on. He's seen all these different things. He's seen people winning stuff. So he will fully grasp. He'll see players who go, I've moved here, how's it gone for you? Oh, you know what? I shouldn't have done it. She's unhappy. The kids don't like it. They've got no mates. Whatever it is. He'll have seen all those things and gone, no, actually what I've got is pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. Graham Lloyd says, afternoon, gents, from a dark and gloomy Spain.
Spain's never dark and gloomy.
Jay Radcliffe says, great news for us and him. Although if we do win something with him, it'll be because we've only played Farmers League teams and Everton would have won something sooner if it wasn't for Pickford. Or if he actually plays well for Everton. The usual cack, a blainism. Yeah, that's what people are like. Pip says, as a HGV driver, I would just indicate left and drive past the first immediate exit and carry on to the second exit. Yeah,
well, that's HGV though, isn't it?
You've got the power.
And also when you get to the exit, your back end is still at the other exit. So it's like, it doesn't really matter, does it? No one's trying to cut you up, are they? You're in a HGV.
Chris Davies says, afternoon, lads, will it be a Toffee TV Christmas event? Have one with Sam and Dave as special guests. That'd be brilliant.
We'd have to try and get it all. Ned's the big one. He's the difficult one to get hold of now.
Ned, who thought that? Jay says Pickford isn't the best keeper in the world, but there isn't a keeper in the world I would swap him for.
Maybe Donnarumma.
David Murphy says, good afternoon, gentlemen. Great to see so much positivity around the club. Jordan signing another well-deserved new contract is one in the eye to the fella who used to sit in the posh seats near me at the park end. The man failed to see how Jordan almost single-handedly kept this club in the Premier League and is a top player who is world-class at Hill Dickinson Stadium. Fair enough, David. And Jay says he's the fourth best in the league, though having said that, Raya, Alisson and Donnarumma better, in my opinion. Yeah, it's probably about right. But he's ours, isn't he? So, and he's a top keeper, and he loves Everton, which is a huge thing as well, isn't it? And his song's a belter, which again is another good thing.
Massive.
And if it makes Geordie's head fall off and Copite's heads fall off, then how can you sort of hate on that?
No, never.
Can you?
No.
So, along with that.
Such a blessing.
Everton women played at Hill Dickinson yesterday. To be fair, they at least scored the first ever goal by a women's team at the stadium. So fair play for that. But ended up getting a little bit of a chasing in the end by 4-1. And struggling a little bit, aren't they? They had that win at Anfield, and it was like, oh, this could be a really positive season. But I know they've had a few injuries as well, but they are struggling a little bit at the moment, aren't they?
They are. I can't be a real test of the ownership, of their ownership, not ours, separate entities. Yeah, it will be a real test to see what they do. James has been at like the last couple of games, so he's really our correspondent on it. How was it for you, James?
It wasn't great.
Be honest.
First off, they got the first goal, but I'd argue it was sort of against the run of play. And there was a lot of pressure from Man United, but I don't know, it just felt so weird because they went out for the second half and then they concede one. They make 2 changes and then they concede again and then put 2 defenders on. It's like, why is the manager putting 2 defenders on once you've went 2-1 down? If you're going to make defensive changes, make them at half time if you're not happy with what you've got. And then even just like how the team set up throughout the game, it was like that right back was playing centre half, but then she was playing right back, and the winger, I don't know, it just all didn't work out well, and it just battered them. Yeah. And then they got 2 lucky goals, but then it's like, how much can you put down to luck?
It will be interesting because the Freakins have put money into them, obviously, and Goodison, going to Goodison and trying to sort of sell that. I mean, brilliant crowd yesterday, 18,000, that's fantastic for the game. But you're also trying to sell it, aren't you? You're trying to sell the idea of coming to not just one-off games, but coming to the games. And if they've lost both games at Goodison, now they've lost the first game at Hill Dickinson, they're like real markers, aren't they? For the team and that'll be interesting. Be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, they've got their own CEO, so I don't know where that would come from, but it'll be really interesting to see what happens. And again, I know like there might be people who just don't care, but I do find it interesting. I do find the whole management structure really interesting, how it's going to work, and I do feel like the thing with Goodison is you've just lost the first 2 games when it was like mild sort of autumn time. You're going into the winter time now and you're trying to sell it for people to come and watch and bring their kids and stuff like that, and it's a little bit dark and it's a little bit colder outside. They have to attract a certain, I'm sure there's pressure on to attract a certain amount of people to the games to make sure it's viable for people to go there. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Whether they go, we're gonna leave them to bed these players in, and we understand the situation, or they're going to go and get a new manager and change it up. It's a shame, really, because if they are going to go and change the manager, the ex-City manager, he was a big Evertonian, Nick, who worked at New York FC, City FC for the men's team. He was available. He's not available now, but he would have been a brilliant. He's from Chester, but he's back in the States now. He's got a job in the States, and that would have been great. But again, just in the wider picture, it was great to see so many people going in the stadium. I mean, obviously, like going back to Saturday with the running event, it was brilliant to see the plaza being used, and I think that might be the first event of it. I know people did the sleep in on Friday.
Sorry, it just signed me out for some reason.
I know people did the sleep out on Friday, and that's brilliant, brilliant event.
Good,
well done to everyone who done it. John Blaine, of course, done it as well. But obviously the running event at the 10K on Saturday, I think that's like the first use of the plaza for a non-sort of Everton thing.
Right.
I know it was Everton, but it was brilliant to see the whole plaza full of people, different stations around, different little things going on. That was really good. That to see. And you got people. If you wanted a toilet, you went into the stadium.
Yeah,
and basically it was next to the souvenir shop. You went in, and the toilets are built into sort of like the first bit, but you can't get past. There's a block, like a proper gate,
right.
So you never get onto the concourses. So even that, seeing that how that's been built. So when we have events, and obviously we're going to have smaller concerts, really, really well organised, really good use of the space. And it showed real signs of what it can be used for in the future. More of those kind of events. Obviously, as I said, if we have larger events, concerts and stuff like that, or whatever it is, that space being used for a different way, really, really good. And then yesterday, loads of people getting to go and see the stadium for the first time, whether they were just Everton fans, Everton women's fans, Man United women's fans, or just, I know I've seen a few people put on that they'd completed the 92, the new 92 and stuff like that. So just getting more use out of that space. And then of course, and that meant after the game, after the run, loads of people were in the club shop. I imagine people went into the cafe as well and things like that. So loads of people were. It was really good to see, and really busy down there. And so all the other things offshoot to that were benefiting from it. So that's really important, isn't it? If people are a bit worried about setting up businesses down there, knowing that there's going to be more and more stuff going on, not just Everton games, is really important. Knowing that Everton women might play down there occasionally, or they're going to be in. Of course, we've got the rugby next international, haven't we? So we've got the rugby. So that'll be a different set of people then using that space. So, and then hopefully we'll start getting bookings soon for next summer or whatever for.
I think they have
for the concerts, and obviously maybe some plaza concerts as well. So it's all good.
Yeah, it is. It's great to see. It was great to see how busy it was down there. Tony Cox, thank you for the super chat, mate. I seen something here saying that the fella next to him went to get food and drink at half time.
Never come back.
And got back on 75 minutes.
Really?
That's what it said. Luke says queues for food and drink was 10 times worse than it has been so far. The fella next to me got back to his seat at 75 minutes.
Why was that though? You were there. Why was that?
Was the less people. Michael Barnes, the donuts were £6.50, the same.
I mean, from a consistency point of view, I get it, but you know, the donuts, the £2.50 at Goodison.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's weird. Don't know.
That's really interesting. That I wonder what was it. Only what you only
less people there.
Oh, you can tell us. Were less bars open? Where what was it? What was the reason for that? Was it different people? What was it?
Yeah. Mike Cosgrove, hello mate, says Jordan Pickford is world class in his position, and we don't have many, if any, others in our squad who can say that. Says Jordan is what, I don't know how else to say it. Says Jordan's one of the most disrespected players. If he played for United, he wouldn't get half of the criticism. No. Gareth, no, I've hadn't heard anything on Merlin Roll. I think they're expected, or certainly Roll's expected to be back for City at the weekend.
I'd like to hope so, wouldn't you?
And Branthwaite, hopefully, won't be far behind him, I think. I actually think Jarrell will start against Spurs. Regardless of whether he's in the squad this weekend, I think he'll just play against Spurs at home, because I think once he's fit, he'll be back in alongside Sarkowski. Mark Max says the roundabout chat might be more random than the chess chat last week. Yeah, no in there is exciting. No,
I wouldn't tell anyone to do what James wants to do at a roundabout. Jesus Christ,
that could go
too far.
wrong.
that would invalidate your insurance.
I think so.
Yeah.
Lou
£1
says.
million, no.
Lou says, I know it was reported we have an obligation on roll if we don't get relegated. The comments there Toff made why they let him go, coupled with his prior injury record, worries me. I wonder if there's some sort of get-out clause from the obligation if he turns out to be Gabama Mark II. I think calling him Gabama Mark II is incredibly harsh. The lad's had an injury which, because we had games in quick succession, has meant he missed 4 games. I think last season he had a few injuries, but the season before he didn't, or before that. So I'm sure there'll be something. If Everton aren't happy with his injuries, then there'll be something they can do. But let's see what happens first. I wouldn't be going down that road of basically writing them off. James says the lad who won it finished as I passed the 5k mark. I used AI instead of the runner app. Good free alternate. Ped?
No, you're just cheap.
And Daniel Church says,
Sorry.
Need to, I think he means need to do more stuff, especially in the international break, like a Legends game at our stadium, plus the concerts will be great. Yeah. Well, this one has had a women's game. The next one's got England, Australia in the Ashes for the rugby.
Yeah.
So there's only so much they can do. Maybe going forward, if there's a break where there's nothing, they could plan something like a Legends game or whatever. Because that's what they want it to be, a sort of a multi-use and try and get as many events on as possible, don't they? So maybe they'll start doing that as we go forward. But right now, the 2 international breaks so far, they've had things on, haven't they?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Jay Ratcliffe says, I've spent literally the last week on a personal crusade on social media fighting Pickford's corner on various platforms.
I wouldn't bother, mate. I just wouldn't bother.
I've said some not very nice words to people and they're just going to have to deal with it.
There's no point, mate. You aren't changing anyone's mind.
No. We don't need to change anyone's mind, do we? We know how good he is. Thomas Tuchel, when he came in, was like, he's going to have to fight for his place. Now he's like, yeah, he's the best keeper we've got. We had seen Robert Green, Paul Robinson, not done to make you feel good, one the other one. And another keeper last week talking about Pickford and just saying, it's not even an issue. Yeah. Like, why are we talking about it? He's the best. Let's just all move on. He's the best. Just stop talking about it, because that's not where there's a problem for England. And there isn't.
No.
She's kept 8 clean sheets on the run. I don't really know what else a goalie's supposed to do. Henderson had a go in that run and conceded 3. Mm-hmm. So it's not even a thing. It's not even a thing. There's other areas where if you're going to focus and try to knock the England team down, there's other areas you could do that. But Jordan Pickford isn't one of them. Mark Cody, put it this way, right? I don't think David Moyes will leave out Jake O'Brien for Seamus Coleman, personally. No. I just don't. So yes, Jake O'Brien will play at right back for Everton. That'll be his position until Everton buy a right back, and then he may well go. Well, then he'll have to try to oust Tarkowski or Branthwaite, won't he? He's Everton's 3rd choice centre back, and at the moment the 4th choice centre back's playing. So if Everton go and buy a right back in January, then Jake will go to the bench, and then it's up to him to try and get Tarky out the team. I think he'll have his work cut out for now. But yeah, Seamus had a good game on Saturday night by all accounts, right? He might play again for Ireland this week and could have a terrible game, and then everyone will be like, he's finished. What? Everyone's so overreactive. Seamus Coleman isn't playing in the Premier League. My opinion, isn't starting in the Premier League for Everton unless there's a crisis sort of thing or whatever, or Jake gets an injury, or Michael, we don't even know if Michael Keane's going to be fit though, do we? He went off with a rib injury. If that hasn't cleared up, then Jake will have to play centre-back, and then Seamus might start at Man City. But I think if Keane's available, then Jake O'Brien will be playing. Who's better than Taki? Jake O'Brien? He's not. He's not, mate. He's better than Keane. He's not better than Tarkowski. Sophie says the staff in one of the bars yesterday, I think where they sell the donuts, were quite rude. I thought just standing there saying closed wouldn't even allow my mate to buy sweets for a kid. But she said the stewards were sound. That was Sophie. Yeah, I don't know, Soph. I mean, obviously he wasn't there, so I don't know. But staff have generally got better. That's what I would find. But Sophie also said the queues were awful. They stopped ordering when the second half kicked off, and my mate's kid was in tears because she wanted sweets.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Luke says, in all seriousness, the crowds were a joke. Didn't have all the shops open. So traffic to the ones open were ridiculous.
Oh.
And kids were a bit scared of the amount of people there. Teddy Armo says, have anything been mentioned about Burnley's legal case against Everton? Do we know a time frame? No. I think there'll just be an agreement of probably a nominal fee that Everton will pay to Burnley, and that'll be the end of it. Mark Cody says Tarky's not played well this season. I think he has, and we're doing a season so far, and I've gone through the statistical sites who are obviously nothing to do with Everton, and Tarky's our best defender by their ratings as well. So it's not just sort of me saying he's played all right. He's not being his normal high standard, but he's still been Everton's best centre-back so far this season. So, and Jake O'Brien, I thought, played really well when he replaced Keane at centre-back the other day. So maybe him and Tarky's an option as we move forward. Who knows? But that's on Jake O'Brien to convince the manager. Not only is he better than Tarkowski or Michael Keane, but he's got to get a chance to go there. And if Jarrad Branthwaite is close, and you'd think, I don't know, but you'd hope that Jarrad Branthwaite was close.
You'd hope, wouldn't you?
We want him back in, don't we? We want our best players to play. Whether people love Michael Keane or love James Tarkowski or whoever it is, Branthwaite is fantastic and makes us play differently as well. We're a bit calmer. He can pass the ball, doesn't panic, doesn't get flustered. We want our best players to be fit and ready to play. And then it's up to the four of them then as four centre-backs to get the two places, isn't it? So, Mark says, is Charlie going to start over Dibbling? You know what? I think he probably will, but I think it'll be a little bit unfair on Alcaraz, because he'll get played wide, which means he'll come inside a lot, and it won't be a true reflection of his best position. So he'll go and do a job for the team, but people will look at it and then be like, yeah, he didn't have a good game today, maybe. And that's like sort of an easy drop when Grealish is available for Spurs. And obviously, Jack Grealish will be back in against Spurs. Of course he will, because he's been our, one of our best players, and he's created the most chances. But I'd love to see Charlie give him a little bit of but that's up again. I'm not, and me and Ped often say this, we're not one of them where we think players can't be on the bench or players can't be. I want everyone to battle and scrap to get in the team, because that way that pushes the level up. Now, Alcaraz hasn't really had a go of late. Played 45 minutes at Wolves. I thought he was really harsh. He got dragged off and McNeil got left on, because I thought he was out of the two. I thought he'd done more at Molineux. And then he had to wait his turn to get back on the pitch, and he came on against Palace last Sunday and turned the game, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So that's what you want. You want your players who are coming on as sub to come on and leave an impression. You want everyone walking out the stadium to say, why isn't he playing? Why isn't he not? He deserves a go because that means you're doing your job, doesn't it? Whereas players you've got on the pitch and the game's just disappeared from them. No one's even thinking that. No one's banging the drum for Tyler Dibbling to start. Nobody, really. Not as in you're not going to see his name on the team sheet and go, why is he starting? What I mean is you're not there going, Dibbling has to start, are we?
No.
Although we had 63 minutes the other day, something for the 21s.
Yeah.
I think he done okay as well, I believe. So I think they've got another game as well, haven't they? So hopefully he'll get another hour or so there and just keep him going. And he'll be a good player for Everton, but just right now, we're not going. He deserves, he's got to play. And you want to get to the point where we are saying he's got to play, but right now he's not there. Mark says Charlie could play 10 against City. He could, but it means, and we talked about this, Dewsbury Hall, who's back in. Will he just replace Jack then on the left and have Leave and Jay on the right? He could do that. He could absolutely do that. And just say to Dewsbury Hall, give us a little bit of balance with that left foot. For this game, something slightly different. Leave Alcaraz trying to break from midfield. Because it is going to be a game where we're going to have to... It's City. He could come out and destroy us. Haaland is playing like a frigging robot at the moment. He's unbelievable, isn't he? He missed 2 pens the other day and still got it at it. You know what I mean? His goal scoring is just... He's probably... I mean, I know whether people like Carragher or don't like Carragher, a lot don't, but he was right last week and he said probably the greatest finisher we've ever seen in the Premier League. Wouldn't surprise... if he goes down to be that. He's like... He's a machine. He can score every type of goal, can't he?
It's cold. It's coldest. One of the coldest players I've ever seen in my life play football. Yeah. That's the difference, isn't it? Mm-hmm. See, a lot of players get in those positions and they miss them. Yeah. And you go, oh, yeah. He just gets in the positions and he just scores.
You're surprised if he misses, put it that way, where other strikers, we've got 2 of them, you'd be surprised if he dinked it over the keeper. But Zach had his goals on yesterday. We were just talking yesterday. He put some goals on, or Saturday, whenever it was. His goals for City, they're all different types of goal, though. They're not like, like we're saying with Beto, if you can get it ahead of him, he might be. This kid can just do anything.
It's actually mad, right? But I actually think Donnarumma, it just benefits him so much. They've changed their style.
And Donnarumma's unbelievable.
But they've changed their style. They don't play... They play a bit more direct now.
Yeah.
Obviously suits him more than anybody. And what's really nice though, it's actually really nice. I mean, Norway going to qualify for the World Cup, and it's really nice that they are, because it's good that a team with like a real collection of players that deserve to be in the World Cup are going to be in the World Cup, and they're running away with their group. That doesn't always happen, or you might have one player who's amazing, but they've just got like a little...
it's boss.
They've got like a little generation, and it's really...
I know he's into the minute, but he's fantastic, isn't he? Absolutely fantastic. Odegaard, I love watching. But they've got some really good players, haven't they? Really good players, as James would say. And
How would James say that?
Nobody didn't even... The worst thing was I said it thinking he might go, what? He didn't even change it. He was just doing what he was doing. Love it. Because he got a headphone on so he can't really hear me.
He's pretending to work.
That's good.
It's the greatest trick he ever learned.
Mark Max says Senegal have some squad. World Cup wildcard. They have got a good squad, Senegal. And they battered England, didn't they? I know they've made changes, but they battered England. And Daniel Church says, let the haters hate Pickford. We all know how good he is. If he played for the Sky 6, he'd be the best in the world. He would. Right, we're going. Like, subscribe, do all that. See ya.